Alright guys, welcome back to Yona Yield. Hope you're doing great. Yeah, as you guys can see, I have my sunglasses on because, my eyes are black. I work too much today. This wage slavery is crushing my soul, and that's why I have them on. Just kidding guys, I don't need them actually. So, with that being said guys, we want to jump into another market focus video. And yeah, we want to look into the stuff we discussed in the last one. Basically, how did it work out with the trading setups? And of course, guys, we want to look into some new things because I know, guys, you are here because you're tired of all the trading gurus selling you these amazing, nonsense courses where you don't learn anything. And of course, you need somebody who's giving you all of that for free. That's why you're here, and that's why my channel is here. So let's go guys, here we go. Okay guys, so we are back, and now let's have a look what's going on here. So basically the setup worked out as we planned. We were talking about a move that is going to the upside in Euro USD, and we wanted to prefer the upside, right? We wanted to trade mainly long, and we can see this move here was beautiful. And what was our goal? As you guys remember, we wanted to wash out this high point, which was this liquidity grab that we talked about should come into fruition in the next 1 or 2 sessions. And basically it took 2 days and we did take it out right here. Let me again find this icon, guys, like I did it last time. One moment. I'm so specialized in finding these nice icons, as you guys remember from last time, right? And let's go into it. There's too many. There's too many. You know what? Forget the liquidity grab. Here you have a sunshine cloud. Basically, this kind of sunshine liquidity was taken here, and that was to be expected, right? First of all, guys, let's look at the bigger setup, right? Before we look into my trades. So basically we talked about that we look first in the weekly, right? So that's what we do to arrive with a bigger setup right here. And we can see we have this thrust change up, and as long as this is intact, we want to prefer the long side, right? As long as we're going up, as long as we're green on the weekly and the thrust is up, right? So that is all given. And yeah, I highlighted these 2 liquidity points here in blue, and the first one was basically taken out, right? Then we go into the daily. We try to get our goals. So we had a goal here from this momentum candle, which was up here. So this one has been reached. Then a correction came, and then we can see, let me get my keyboard over here, guys. So one moment. I need to get a little bit more comfortable, guys, here. So one moment. Okay. Basically, as you guys can see, there was another kind of momentum right here. This was for me also a signal candle. As you can see, it was a little bit higher in the body close, also green with the weekly momentum, and that one brings us right into the target here. And this was exactly what we discussed about in the last market focus, that we would go in this target area right here and do this kind of liquidity grab, and we did that, right? So it's nice. And now we need to see how this candle today is closing. If it is closing nice and green like it's right now, then I'm actually expecting that we are continuing the momentum, right? So then let's have a look at that momentum candle. That would be a target up here, which in my opinion is a bit too much. I'm not expecting, to be honest, that this will come up right here right away. It's too much. But I do expect that we will, take out this liquidity up here also, and then we start retracing. So now, how would we do this? I'm expecting some kind of pullback. So preferably for the next session, yeah, we need to see. Of course, it can do something like that and then go straight up because we're over this kind of high point. But I thinking about a deeper pullback. And keep in mind, guys, we have kind of taken out the first liquidity right here. Guys, let me get some kind of icon here again, because I do want to show you this liquidity. It's just, oh, here it is. This is the one I had last time, right? This is the liquidity, guys. Good. And so because we have taken out the liquidity, it will become now more dangerous in the Euro USD, right? It's not that easy anymore like the last couple of sessions. The last couple of sessions were very easy. You could, have a lot of nice trades, and it was kind of like a yeah, it was easy. You could, these are the kind of moments when you actually need to do well so your account grows, because now it will get more difficult, right? So we always had these nice long opportunities, and now with the first kind of liquidity zone, we are in the danger that, you know, it's topping somewhere here, and then some kind of bigger pullback down would come again, or maybe even just, you know, going down again with this overall kind of move from here, which is might not be finished at all, right? However, I don't expect this to be happening this week because we're still green, but it could start then next week, right? So now with that being said, guys, how will I play this? So I still prefer the long side for the time being, especially because we are still in the up thrust on the weekly and in daily, of course, as well. So now we actually like to still, you know, look for pullbacks and then buy them. So same stuff as I normally do. As you guys remember, my strategy is weekly, daily biased, and then I go into the 1 hour, 2 hour time frames, maybe even 30 minutes, and look for pullbacks there then to buy, right? So here, preferably, we will start off tomorrow by retracing this kind of a daily candle, which could then also be a nice intraday short, but you need to be careful because it's against the trend, right? And then again, up move, right? So let's look into the smaller time frames right now, because it's very nice, guys. As you can see here, we are at the third pivot point, right, extension. So here there was a nice run today actually, and I do believe this will give us a nice pullback then, right, coming back down into these areas right here, because we're overextended at this moment, right? We need to kind of catch up here again. This is the 1 hour with the Bollinger Band zone down here, right? I always look at the second and third standard deviation, or at least the one on the 30 minutes. Some of these zones we should, you know, catch up with them again. So maybe in the night it will go up a little bit, but then tomorrow this will be my first play. Maybe tomorrow actually a short against the trend, but it will be dangerous because, you know, the trend is still long. And then once we're down here, we can prefer the upside again, right? So this is kind of my game plan for tomorrow or the next couple of sessions, right? I want to wait for bigger pullbacks that actually come in 3 waves. Here it's kind of unlikely that it will go straight up, because normally it's doing these kind of 3 waves structures, right? Like, or think about this A, B, C, and then up again, right? So this is what I'm looking for here in the Euro USD, right? Okay, guys, before we jump into my trades, how did I play these kind of sessions, you know, the last 2 sessions? We want to look at all the trading opportunities right here and, you know, do an analysis, and then we'll jump into these kind of trades. So what else is on my watch list, or what else was interesting in the last couple of days? Of course, British pound, and this one is very similar to Euro USD, of course. Let's get rid of these kind of, sorry guys, this chart is very messy because there are my drawings in here, because actually I was analyzing these kind of things, and let's do it like that. All right, so GBP USD, let's go. First of all, we always start off with the weekly, right? So this one is very nice, trending up, as you guys can see. And yeah, so here is the up thrust starting, and also I think this blue box that we saw here was this target, so this was still drawn in here. Sometimes I get lazy, then I don't take these kind of drawings off, right? So this is kind of the overall target for GBP USD, probably, as long as we're trusting up. Keep in mind, everything can change in the market in an instant, and you know, once the thrust is down, I would say the same thing, but just up, down, 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 right? But now, because I keep my brain small as possible, right? Because trading is random, there's no point in overcomplicating this, there's no point in using like any fundamental analysis, there's no point in any of this, because it's just a random probability, right? And at the moment, the probability for up is a little bit you know, increased. You know, this is why I'm looking here to go with the bigger time frame bias. So here, this is kind of the target, and we talked about this as well, that we did have a, guys, let me check here, did have a nice pullback here, and now we have green, red, green, so I'm expecting upside here as well. GBP even looks a little bit more protected than Euro USD, to be honest. Euro USD, I will think about that the downside could come soon again. Here, for me, this just looks very well protected on the weekly, right? So now let's look in the daily. Here also, I'm assuming that this high point here needs to be taken out eventually. What's going on with my drawing tools? Yeah, damn it. So, all right, guys, here, there is the liquidity. and now I have it saved here, all of this money here, right, behind this. And yeah, so I'm expecting this to come eventually. Then we do have a structure break right here that we can use as a pullback zone. So here, looking at the daily, I would prefer something like that, coming down here again and then go up again, right? So this is kind of the outlook for the next couple of sessions right here. Then of course guys, we can actually now, you know, look in the smaller time frames again. Looking here, how does it look, right? We can see here Bollinger Bands 1 hour, we are overextended, right? So what am I looking for is kind of this 3-wave correction again, A, B, C, something like that, down here, and then again upside from there, right? So this is kind of what I'm expecting here in the British pound. So we'll see, it's kind of same setup like in Euro USD, right? So tomorrow I think the first opportunity will be short against the trend. Then you need to see if you want to do that, because most of the time it's better to go with the trend, and shorts you should not do them so much, right? Because we're going against the trend. So only if you think it's a very good opportunity. If not, then you just leave it out, right? So in this case, yeah, tomorrow I will just chill here, and maybe if we're down here, then buy it, right? If we come down and then catch up with the Bollingers on the 1 hour, or at least 30 minutes, right? Here, second and third standard deviation. So this is how it looks here. Then we want to go to some other opportunities. Euro, Japanese yen, this one I was trading it today as well. I will show you later what I did here. This one is getting interesting in my opinion, guys. So basically now let's look at the weekly. Weekly is thrusting up, as you guys can see, which has been starting here, right? We are waiting for this high point to be washed out eventually, so something like that. And let me stretch, guys. So something like that eventually. It will take time, of course. And we did have a red candle last week, so it's kind of you know, in a consolidation right now. This red candle didn't do a, you know, change of thrust, as you can see. So the thrust is still up, right? Because for a change of thrust, it needs to engulf to the downside, which it didn't do, right? It's still, you know, here in the up thrust, and the color change just means we are currently sideways, right? Up thrust but sideways, right? And I'm assuming this sideways movement will continue, but then eventually the high point here will be taken out, right? So here also the long side is actually preferred, but some shorts can be played because we are currently sideways. So now let's have a look here. It's looking interesting. So here I think there will be also a nice short opportunity again tomorrow, coming down in these areas, and then again long, right? So this is what is going on here. So short, and after that a nice long down here. Also we can see this kind of support right here. What's going on with my drawing tools, guys? So right here, and why not come here in here again, something like that, also wash out this kind of low point before going up, right? So I'm assuming we are in a correction, and for me this correction is not you know, completed. It needs to have 3 kind of clear legs, and we don't know if it will do this kind of expanding flat, right? Then it would do a new low point, or if it will do this kind of, how you say, normal flat, then it would come here, right? Or if it will do even a running flat. One moment, guys, these drawing tools make me crazy in TradingView, to be honest. I barely ever use them, but here for the showing purposes, demonstrating purposes, I need to show them, right? This would be kind of a running flat and then up again, right? So some sort of correction still needs to unfold here, and this is why I'm saying there can be some good short opportunities, but as well as long opportunities, right? So this is what I'm kind of seeing here. Now looking in the 1 hour, it looks actually rather strong. So maybe it will do a running flat, maybe then the correction would be over, but I think there will be another good short coming. We will see. But I can see what is very interesting, guys, and this is why I was long here today. I would show you this. And this one is very interesting. We have a thrust change up here. It's a very nice momentum candle. Not sure why it was that big, but it's like that. And this one gives us actually a clear target up here, right? So this one looks pretty nice. Not sure if that actually will work out, but yeah. So there's a like a momentum up, right? So it might be that this pair is coming up here and then do this down movement, something like that, right? So looking at the 2 hours, this would be the touch in the Bollinger Band zone of 2 hours, and that might be needed because it touched here already in the downside 2 hour Bollinger Bands, so it might go up to them and then come down here again right before, then again up again. This is a sideways markets, right? And I love those sideways markets because they're so nice. No stupid trends that can put you in any dangers, right? If you don't cut the trades early. Here in sideways markets, it's very good because if you have an entry that was a little bit too early, you can average in 1 time or 2 times and then it will turn around. So these are why sideways markets are very, very safe to trade, right? Because even if your entry is not perfect, you can average and then still have a very good profit in the end. But if you're in a trend, then you need to be careful because then you need to cut the trade as early as possible and not try to average, because if it's a trend, it will anyway not turn around, right? So very nice stuff here, guys. Now let's have a look at some other pairs, then I will show you my trades so you can again get very detailed insights in my trading system that will help you, of course, to become profitable, which is the reason for this channel. I all want you guys to become millionaires. That's the reason, guys. So let's go. Looking at gold, guys, we're gonna leave gold out for now because I don't trade it that much. I have been looking for pullbacks, they never came here. Just we knew this target would come. It was very, very obvious. The whole time it was obvious this would come and grab the liquidity right here. It did do that now, so I would look for maybe some shorts pretty soon because it grabbed the liquidity, some kind of pullbacks, but it's still too early, right? There is no kind of sign of weakness right here. It's not gonna happen this week anyway, so that will be something for next week. So also gold preferred on the long side still, and need to see after the liquidity grab and after next week, maybe after this week, I mean, maybe there can be something on the short side. We need to wait for that one. And yeah, then we talked about oil. Oil is very interesting. I had this in the last one because I see some stabilization going on right here, and there could be a bigger breakout coming here to the upside, right? So it's stabilizing right here. I still see we are thrusting up. You can see this especially in the weekly. There was a new weekly signal here forming in the up thrust, and what does that mean? It means the target is up here. So this one trading is a very good trading opportunity in my opinion. Daily also, again, we did have a 2-day correction right here, and now it didn't break the thrust on the upside on daily. It didn't do that, so it's still thrusting up. So for me, what is this? This is oil. Very interesting, right? So this would be for me interesting on the long side, so preferably we come down here again and then up, right? So oil is on my watch list for tomorrow. What else do we have? We have BTC, the rocket. We should not even call it BTC, it's just a rocket, guys. Inflation is all slowly killing us, and we know it. We know the Fed wants to make us all poor and wants to make what? Yes, a 0.1% of population in this world should become ultra rich. This is the mandate of the Fed. We know it. And yeah, and if you want to protect yourself, you basically need to buy Bitcoin, right? And why they're doing this? Because after that they will kill Bitcoin with the CBDCs or whatever, right? That's basically what's going on here. And yeah, it's looking nice, guys. So it was also, pretty obvious this would come up here eventually, but what was not obvious, I was always thinking about BTC will come down to 10K, right? I have the wrong tool, guys. Here, I was thinking it will come down here, 10K, maybe even like a fake out move below it to make everybody scared, maybe even 8K, that would have been super nice prices, then go up, but actually the opposite happened. It turned out earlier because everybody was waiting for the 10K, right? That's basically what happened here. Right now this thing is just rocketing up, and I think it will continue for a little bit. And now let's have a look here, because we are in this kind of channel. So as you can see, there is still upside. We have started to take liquidity here behind this, not much, so it should push more, then it should come down, and then it should come up here again. Probably 80K is probably the target, and after that it will come down again, right? So I'm thinking some kind of topping stuff coming like this in kind of 2 waves, whatever you want to call it. and eventually 80k, right? And then maybe something like that, right? So there is still room here, and if there are some bigger pullbacks down, then I would try to buy them, right? So that much for BTC. And yeah guys, I think that is basically everything here. Are we recording still? We are. That is great to see. Okay guys, and with that we covered a lot of ground. We want to look quickly into the trades that I did. I basically traded Euro USD, GBP USD and Euro Japanese Yen. These are the kind of pairs I traded. We didn't look at indices today, I think, but that's alright. I don't have enough time now. Need to keep it short. Nasdaq is getting interesting though tomorrow, but I will update you in another one. So basically now let's recap quickly, right? So last time when we talked, we were basically 2 sessions back, so let's do that. Okay, so basically guys, it was like that, and let's jump quickly to the full screen here again. Here you go guys. Okay, alright guys, I had to move my cam quickly so you guys can see it better. So yeah, so this is basically how we left it last time, and the idea was that there will be some kind of pullback and then buy it to come up here. And you know, it doesn't need to go directly. It can also do something like that, of course, because always when it's overextended, it starts correcting again. And now let's see what happens, right? For this, we have the replay mode. And this also gives you some valuable insight into my strategy, right? So alongside preferred, we want to buy the pullbacks, and eventually this kind of Euro USD pair should come into this area up here, right? If we measure the targets. So let's see then how I traded this. Now we go back to the 1 hour, right? And keep in mind the next session will start now the next day. So this is where we left off in the last video, and now let's have a look here. So as you guys can see, what time is this? I need to look at the time. Yeah, this is in the night. We're not gonna do anything right here. So now it's still 5, 6, 7, 8. So now it's 9 o'clock, right, in the morning. So we can see here the first kind of turnaround. So actually it could be traded up probably right now. Actually guys, I don't remember what I did here. Maybe I went long, but yeah, you can see basically it went up here. So as you can see guys, the first signal would be here at around 9 o'clock, then 10 o'clock, right? Because when this candle finishes, it's 10 o'clock. And what I do after that is I look into the smaller time frames to make the entry more precise, and maybe even work with a small stop loss. That depends. If I see a big swing, you know, and I want to keep the position open the whole day, which I would not do a lot of times. I normally specialize in cutting out 20 pips or something intraday, but sometimes I believe there is a bigger trend. In that sense, I want to keep the whole day, and then I also do averaging. It depends, right? So here is the first entry, and I did this one in the morning. Then you can see it went up into profit right away. And here I'm not sure what I did after that, if I went out already. Could be, because this is a nice candle already, not sure. And let's see, here it came down again. I'm sure then down here I bought again at some point. Either I left the trade open, probably I left it open actually guys, because the target is here, we're buying at the Bollingers here in the 1 hour, and the target is minimum actually the Bollingers on the other side, right? So up here, this would actually be the target. Then let's see if that actually comes. I think also here you can see some news, 16 o'clock, so could get volatile. Another touchdown here, okay, and then this is the news, right? So with the news, basically the target was reached here, and in this case I would probably go out up here and close this trade. I know the bigger target is up here, but for the first trade this is a very good distance, right? It's 20 pips, that's enough. All right, so this will be the first kind of idea. Buy it, of course, around the Bollingers and take it up here. So then let's have a look. After this, the trading day should be done, right? This is 16 o'clock. Yeah, you're not gonna do anything there anymore, right? So also coming down, and then guys, you want to wait until the next trading session happens, right? So until the next day. So now you can see the pivot flipped right here. So the next trading day is coming. So we're not going to do anything because it's now in the night. The nice thing, we were here kind of overbought. We're coming again into the Bollingers in the 1 hour. So here again, it looks nice. This actually would be a nice signal here to take. Problem is, this is 3 o'clock in the morning, so I cannot trade that, right? Sleeping at that point in time. So, and then when is, but this one worked out beautiful, as you can see. Trust up came here, target is up here. This one worked out very beautifully. So what happens here then? 8 o'clock, now 9 o'clock is coming. So, and that's the question. On this day, what did I do? It could be, guys, that I just went into the uptrust, because I remember I was long and I was waiting for this kind of thing to be fished out. So actually, in that sense, yeah, this one is a little bit difficult, guys, because already the signal happened here in the night, right? And went up here. And there you need to decide, right? Either the market is doing another manipulation down and going into the Bollinger Bands again and then come up, but here it was unlikely. The thrust was too big. And here you can see 9 o'clock, it just, you know, tested the thrust and then went back up, right? So I think USD, I went somewhere long because I remember I was long and I was waiting for this kind of liquidity grab, right? So this is what I was doing. Okay, then it's going up probably more now, and yeah, I think it should now grab this liquidity pretty soon. Now it's lunchtime, it's gonna retrace a little bit. Here you can see the retracement. Okay, and there it stabilized, right? And now it's going for the liquidity, as you can see, guys. And there it's reached, and now it's actually hunting stops at this point in time. And this is how it went to R3. Again here, guys, it engulfed again to give a nice signal, momentum candle. Here is the target area, okay? And yeah, guys, how you can trade this, you need to see what is the thrust, you need to see where you want to go in. So this one was a little bit difficult because you could not buy at the Bollingers. Normally I love these kind of entries here at the Bollingers, right? Like it was the day before. This was a beautiful day. You could just buy in here and here. Why is it not drawing again? My God. Okay, and then take it up here, then go out. Here, this was in the night, so no way to take it. So here you had to go into the thrust at some point, right? And how do I do this? And normally I go into the smaller time frames, look there for entry possibilities. What you can see here, of course, is also this kind of break here of the structure here, right? So there was the retest and then up. Okay, so very nice. This was basically Euro USD. This one I traded GBP USD as well, but I don't need to show you that. It's the same as here, right? Just up, up, up. I think I traded GBP USD actually because I missed this kind of trade in Euro USD probably. Here you can see it more nicely. Now I even remember what I did here when I see this. Basically in GBP USD, what I did today, and this was 14 o'clock. Yes, so here, as you guys can see, and this is how I do my setup, it engulfed up in a thrust that's anyway up, right? So here I saw an opportunity to take this signal up here, right? So it was very nice. And then what I did is you go back. So let's take it back here. So this is the signal in the 1 hour thrusting up. We know anyway it should go up from the bigger time frames, and we want to swim with the bigger time frames. Then I look in the 5 minutes, right? And I look for an entry signal right there. So let's see how this works out. So now it's coming down. This is exactly what I want to see to get a cheap price, right? The pullback is coming down. Keep in mind, 1 hour shows us the target is up here, right? So keep that in mind. So target is up here, right? So then we just need to wait. And here it is, right? This is exactly what I traded today. This is why I traded GBP, because Euro USD was already running away, right? So and I needed to find my opportunity somewhere else, and I found it here, right? Here is the perfect entry signal, right? And what you want to do after that, let me get the drawing tool again. The struggle of finding it. Here we want a little bit of pullback in the 5 minute if possible. Not sure if that happened in this case, but we wanted to have it down here, and then we want to be in this trade, and we want to have a stop loss here that is 6 pips, right? And let's see what happens. And there we're tagged in. Okay, that is nice. And now let's have a look. All right, that is pretty close to the stop loss actually, guys. Now let's see how this is working out. And now it should be running right now, right? Let's have a look. There you go. Okay, and there it is in the target, right? So it did try to hunt the stop loss. Of course, here it worked out. It was not fished out. I'm not sure how tight I set the stop loss in that instant. Normally I try to give it, GBP is also a little bit more volatile, so normally 10 pips is better. Not sure where I had it at this point in time, but I remember that I was not stopped and I could take this trade up here, right? And even if you're stopped out, if you believe in the trade, you can of course reopen it, right? So this one was basically working out nicely as planned. Then I show you one last trade I did today that was in Euro Japanese yen. Today basically I traded especially Euro Japanese yen and GBP USD because Euro USD was already running, so I had to go through some other pairs. Normally Euro USD is my main pair, but because that was running already and I needed to look at some other stuff as well. So let's look here in the 1 hour, because what I observed here was this momentum candle, right? So this one. This is how the trade started. So I observed this one. So for me, it was clear, okay, I want to go in long here eventually. I knew Euro USD is going up, so this one should follow because of correlation, kind of, right? It's not going to be exact, but this one shows me this target up here, right? So eventually it should come up here. We don't know if it's for sure, of course, but it could and it should. So then we want to look for a pullback. That also happened, right? And after this pullback, here it was getting very, very interesting, as you can see here. So just to clear it up, guys, the thrust is up here, right? This is kind of the signal, but then of course it does a pullback many times. We don't know if this pullback is gonna stop here or if it's gonna come all the way here in the middle somewhere, right? Best is of course to get it at the Bollingers, which happened right here. So this was for me very interesting. We are at the Bollingers and we have seen a turnaround right here, right? Again, showing us we are still in this bigger up thrust, right? So this is how I saw it. And then of course I went into the smaller time frame. So let me show you guys this. Let's go back. So it looked like this at that point of time. So I was like, this is very nice. Stabilizing here, color change, and we are in this up thrust. We are here at the Bollingers, so I'm expecting minimum a push into the other Bollinger Band zone, right? Something like that. Okay, so then we go again on the smaller time frame, 5 minutes. So this looked like that, I guess, in that point in time. Let's look. The pullback is coming here. Actually, maybe not. Oh yeah, there it is. So here, let's see how we can get the entry. So here is the pullback, right? So now let's wait for stabilization. Yeah, this green one is actually nice. Let's see. So yeah, maybe this one was the buying candle. I'm not exactly sure where I went in. Maybe it was that one, guys. So yeah, so it was this one. And yeah, basically it's the same game here. What you do is you try to go in somewhere, or maybe I was in here. I'm not sure, but I went in somewhere here, right down here. So maybe it was this one. And again, you do this kind of target up here, and then stop loss. You need to see, you don't want to do it too tight because then you're gonna unnecessarily fish and you need to redo the trade. But also you don't want to do it too big because you don't want to have too much risk on the table. But what I normally do, I look. If I believe the small stop is enough, I do it. If I believe, okay, this needs a little bit more room, then I go in with half of the size, right? And then I give it a bigger stop, maybe something like this even, and then I can still average in as well, right? But then normally the trades are just gonna be 1-to-1 in the end. With the smaller stops, the good thing is it can be like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, right? So here, unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly how I did it then in the end. But I remember I looked in the 5 minute, went in somewhere here or here, and then took it up here, and it was a very, very good trade as well. Alright guys, so that is basically everything for the recap. And the last thing I remember, I did a short here back to this area. maybe this one I can show you as well. This was the very last trade I did today, and I did this because here we were at the Bollingers, and then we did a red 1 hour close. Let me see that right here. I think it was that one, yeah. So let's go back. This was the last trade I did today. So basically we were looking like that, and I remember this was a 30-minute setup, so I looked in the 30 minutes actually for this one. And right, so then it did a red one at some point. Yes, so it was like that. All right, okay, so we did have this kind of signal right here, and then what I wanted to do is have a pullback and then again short, right? So this was basically the setup, and this area to go in was somewhere up here. So this is exactly the setup how I remember it. This was the last trade I did today, and so then I go again on the 5 minute, looking for the pullback. Let's have a look. Okay, here you go. This is the trade. Okay, and then it should be red right here because I remember this. So it did a color change, and I remember for this one I didn't wait all the way for the thrust change. Here I went in with the color change. All right, so that was enough for me there because I was convinced in this setup. So here I remember that I went in short right here, and I had a very tight stop loss here. It was only like 5 pips or something like that. Let's give it a little bit more, maybe it was 7 or something like that. And then I was targeting down here again, right? So it was like that, and it was kind of like almost a 3-to-1 actually in the end. So something like that. And let's have a look. So here we tagged in, there was a little bit of pullback, and now it should eventually come down here. Let's see. All right. Here it's gonna turn a little bit. I remember this because there I was thinking, should I get out or not? But I was waiting. And there you go. Almost at the target. Here it should come, right? And there the trade was finished, right? So this is how it worked out here. Target was this kind of wick down here. So this was a beautiful one. It was over 2-to-1. Very nice setup, right? And this is how you can find the setups in this market, guys. Here, Euro Japanese yen. I know I can go long and short here because it's ranging on the weekly, right? But on Euro USD, for example, I try to only do long for the moment because weekly, bigger time frame bias is up. Okay, guys, with that, we want to wrap it up. I hope you could take away a little bit, you know, of this session. It was a little bit messy, you know, but I just want to show it to you like this on the go. I don't want to structure this, but if you're familiar with trading, I'm sure you could understand everything. So guys, I catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace. Bye bye.